Minecraft movie was first announced in 2014 by Notch, and if it had come out in the first 5 years of its announcement, well, it wouldn't have had this scene.
Flint and steel with the nether.
It's not just that though, basically every part of the plot would have needed to change, and let's explain exactly how today, starting with the loading screen, which looked like this in all of the trailers and the movie, but obviously, back in 2014, this is what the loading screen looked like.
20 year, let's create new world.
Ooh, yeah, that's some nostalgia from my first time playing Java on this channel in 2012, but what's interesting is back then, if I had gone to a village, I wouldn't have found a wandering trader like is featured in the movie. This is a probably incidental detail, but there were also no cartographers, so the other people in this movie wouldn't have found their maps, but even more notable than that, the villages would have also looked all entirely differently because there were no biome-specific villages, there were just, well, villages. To recap, for this movie to take place in 2014, they would have had to have a different villain and have a different way to reunite the characters, but also they'd have had to have something different to go towards together because the entire movie hinges upon them going to a woodland mansion, yes, that one, and this just did not exist in that year. And if we go even crazier, the way that Jack Black and Jason Momoa got there was via the Elytra, but back in 2016, which wasn't that long after to be fair, you could use an Elytra, but it wasn't able to be boosted with a firework rocket. This means the scene couldn't have been nearly as long as it actually was. If we go a layer even deeper, we could say that the way that that scene ends with a water bucket being placed next to pandas also couldn't have existed, and also the bees, which feature prominently in the movie, would not have been there either way. I think it's also notable to mention that there were no dungeons or legends, mobs for them to steal, or indeed boots of swiftness for them to borrow, which means the entire ending of this movie would have been different, and so ultimately, if the Minecraft movie were made in 2014, it would have been a wildly different movie, but actually, that was the intention. In 2014, the directors were entirely different people, and the aim was to take things much more seriously, and here's the question, was that a good aim? In either case, no matter what the movie ended up being, we all know that regardless of when it was made, as long as it was post-2012, they could have had the famous...
Chicken jockey!
Oh, okay then, thank God for that.